Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings today. We have a trending news here for you. And the headline reads, Oyo lawmaker Afenefere, Professor Sage, Garba, Shehu, and other APC chieftains speak on General Buhari's new title. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube.
The reported new editorial policy of the Punch newspaper to address President Muhammad Buhari as Major General in his official title and refer to his government as a regime instead of administration comes to us as totally curious and utterly incredible. The paper claimed that it is changing President Buhari's office title to general because of his government's alleged disregard for the rule of law. Major General Muhammad Buhari retired, for that is his title, and he was indeed a Major General, but today retired from that position and now twice democratically elected President of Nigeria. It's not a choice of Punch newspapers, editors, or owners that is clear. He is, however, the two-time electoral choice of the voters of Nigeria, those very people who Punch newspaper describes this morning as lethargic, a disdaining epithet apportioned to dissent, hardworking, everyday Nigerians for not agreeing with and for not having voted in line with their publication's editorial and political opinions. Punch editorial today is, however, entirely in line with holding, exercising the right of free speech, freedom of press, as my friend and colleague Femi Adesina said earlier today. Femi, special advisor, media and publicity, said the fact that Punch can insult the president in a front-page editorial and then go home to sleep peacefully is the best testimony to the prevalence of freedom of press and of expression in the country. To quote him, rather than being prerogative, addressing President Buhari by his military rank is another testimony to free speech and freedom of the press, which this administration or regime, if anyone prefers it, is a matter of semantics, has pledged to uphold and preserve. In countries around the world where this right does not exist, newspapers do not publish articles such as the one Punch did today, nor do they get to express political opinions contrary to that of government. The exact freedom of Punch claims are missing are self-evident here in print, on the internet for all Nigerians and the whole world to see. There's nothing wrong with expressing contrary opinion to this government, nor being the opposition to the president, but this is the right of every Nigerian. However, calling for the armed overthrow of democratically elected administration is a different matter entirely. This Punch has in no way done, but others who they seek to defend have. There is a difference. Punch oppose the government as much as you want to. We welcome your contribution to the debate, but we ask you not to throw insult at the good voters of Nigeria for not agreeing to your choice at the last election. It is not within the power or right of a newspaper to unilaterally and whimsically change the former official title or the designation of the country's president as it pleases. It is unprecedented and absurd in our recent political history. The Punch never changed President Obasanjo's title from president to general, despite the fact that the latter refused to comply with Supreme Court's judgment ordering him to release 30 billion naira of Lagos State Local Council funds. When General Ibrahim Babangida, who wasn't democratically elected, assumed the title of president, why didn't the Punch challenge him or address him by that title it so desired? In fact, IBB closed media houses for several months and years, including Punch, but the paper didn't stop addressing him as president despite the fact that he wasn't elected. It is obvious that the Punch newspapers are playing partisan opposition politics, which has nothing to do with journalism. The Constitution of Nigeria recognizes the president as the former official title of the occupant of that office. Can Punch newspaper in their hobbies address the president as prime minister as it pleases? Is it within the paper's responsibility or power to change the official title of the man who occupies the office of the president? Does that mean any newspaper is free to address the Comptroller General of Customs, a colonel, rather than its official title. The Punch newspaper should separate journalism from partisan politics. What it is embarking upon is purely political, and it is designed to play to the gallery and cause confusion. Punch newspaper double standards in coddling some of our past dictators, and the open contempt for President Buhari clearly shows that the paper has sinister motives for its current curious editorial judgment. Its personal hatred for and unanimous towards President Buhari should not be allowed to becloud our good judgment, they said. But the former Senator Oyo lawmaker also speak on the General Buhari's title. Former Kaduna Senator Shehu, Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly Adebo Adedoyin, and many Nigerians have expressed their views on Punch editorials which address the president as General Muhammad Buhari. Punch, one of Nigeria's most widely newspaper in editorial published Wednesday highlights some of the instances where the Buhari administration has violated court orders, including the treatment of an activist, Omoyele Sowore. In the editorial titled Lawlessness, Our Stand, the newspaper said it would henceforth refer to the president by his last military title, which he ruled Nigeria as a military dictator. As a symbolic demonstration of our protest against autocracy and military style of repression, Punch, all our print newspaper, The Punch, Saturday Punch, Sunday Punch, Punch Sport, Extra, and digital platform, most especially punchng.com, will henceforth preface Buhari's name with his rank as a military dictator in the 80s, Major General, and refer to his administration as a regime until they purge themselves of their insufferable contempt for the rule of law, it wrote. The Punch newspaper editorial of today sends a clear message to the perpetrators, choristers, and fans of tyranny and state repression in our country, and the corrosive and cowardly sentence of those who speak truth in power. Kudos, Shehu tweeted. Oyo Speaker said today at Mobile Punch editorial, its resolution to henceforth prefix at M. Buhari with Major General and refer to his administration as regime in protest against autocracy is another huge feat, renewing our hope in the media as strong voice ready to hold government accountable and responsible. There at another Ndu Ekeke says, there at Punch Mobile, you have led the way, we will follow. Moving forward, I will, in line with your well-considered patriotic defense to tyranny, also prefix Buhari with either Major General or General. I will also refer to the administration as regime. Nigeria will defeat tyranny, he said.
All right, thank you very much. That was a long one, but all of that boils down to the new title, the new prefix that Punch newspaper is now giving to that's the president of Nigeria. They no more call him president of Nigeria, but this time around, how they address him is General Buhari. And Shehu Garba is ranting and saying whatever he's saying. Now, let the truth be told. Nigerians have endured a lot of things. Things are getting out of hand. Things are being done as if we are not literate enough. Things are being done as if this is someone's small corridor house that he's just ruling. So he believes that everybody must succumb to any kind of style of, system of government that he wishes to bring into bear. And that is why you are now seeing the likes of Punch have reacted the way they have reacted. And this is, one of the things that that will not be forgotten in a hurry, as Nigerians will celebrate Punch. I can assure you that if you look at the sales of Punch, check out from now till end of this year, the sales will be hike. Nigerians are going to be buying, because this is an indication that at least we have a newspaper, we have a particular media that is who understand the pains of Nigerian, and who will not just be publishing any kind of thing, but will be showing that this government is actually tilting towards autocracy. Thumbs up to them, because they have done normal, irrespective of whatever anybody, whether it is APC chieftains that will come up and begin to blah and blah and blah. The truth be told, the way things are going, Nigeria is tilting towards a system of government that will very soon put us in a very negative light before the nations of the world. Already we are there. We are trying to see how we can secede from it. But hey, things are not even good. The worst thing that has ever happened in Nigeria is the situation of Shehu, where he was. Everybody watched the video, went viral, and everybody saw it. That was the end of Nigerian democracy. Right now, they are no more looking at Nigeria from the point of view of, say, this is a country, a democratic country. They are looking at us as a country that has given in to autocracy and to dictatorship, and very soon we'll start seeing response from, other countries. So right now, we just want to say, this guy should keep it up. Journalism is not just meant to be sharing what the government of the day is doing and all. It is meant to reshape the society. It is made to correct some ills. It is what directs the people. So that is why when you are doing it, you must be ready. It's a call. It's not something that you just wake up and you start doing. It's a call. And that is what Punch has shown other newspapers, that, hey, we are not just going into publications and all of that. We have a call to do this thing. And if this man is misleading Nigeria, if the current government is not taking us towards the direction that we desire, we will begin to point to that fact. And that is why they have decided to give him his own title, General Buhari. My colleague has something to say about this.
Well, honestly, I would say well done to Punch. This is rare indeed. I could still remember, if you check our feeds, we discussed this when Wike and Adams Oshomole met, and Adams Oshomole gingered the journalists in the conference. He told them, go now, where are the days when the Occupy magazine, those people who were bold enough to challenge good journalism, who were courageous enough to challenge the president of the day? Well, Punch have risen up to the challenge. They have said, we still have good hands, and we still have bold journalists. You can't keep, propelling the people and expect them not to react. It's just a matter of time. They will break. I know that, as Punch has said, they're actually waiting for the worst, really. They know that they will come on all angles. Professor Sage and the Chieftain of APC have come out and said that is why Punch was pretending they're actually a mall, they are in opposition party. Does it mean that when someone takes a stand, it will always have to be an opposition party? Don't you think constructive criticism is allowed? Shehu Garba said something quite unique. He said, did he ever call IBB Major General? That's because they were in military rule. Obasanjo, yes, Obasanjo may have not allowed that 30 billion of Lagos funds, local Lagos funds, but I don't think Obasanjo did this much as an open display of rule of law disobey. As in, they didn't even bother to hide it. They picked somebody. Severally, the court said free this guy. Severally, DSS said no. DSS are as if they are above the law. Even the Senate are just, nobody wants to be harmed. It's as if everybody is scared. That kind of fear only comes from military rule. It doesn't come from democracy. Democracy means you should be free to express yourself within the context of the law, but not where you begin to live in constant fear, where you will hold your phone, you are scared. Have you seen where Yahoo boys, where normal guys move on with their dreadlocks on the streets of Lagos, and the next thing they will catch him and catch that young guy because he carries dreadlock and say he looks like a Yahoo boy, and the next thing they will scrape his hair. Where is our freedom of expression? That you will sag your knicker as a fine young man, just decide to say no, the way you are dressed, you must be a Yahoo boy. Or they see you with laptop, no, this one is confirmed, you're a Yahoo boy. These are signs that even that freedom of expression is not there. And it didn't just start, it has been. And Punch have taken the order of the day and said, look, let's stop this whole joke. If it must start, let it start now. Let's tell ourselves the truth. We are no more in democracy. They have heard the news. They know the things that happen in the corridor of power. They get this information first time most times. So they know what they are saying. If they say, look, forget it, we are no more in democracy. We are just wearing that as a dress, as a tag. We are actually in military regime. Honestly, they're not far from the truth. And Nigerians will tell eventually.
All right, thank you very much. Just go to our comment section. What's your reaction about this new prefix of the president? Is now being addressed as the General Buhari. What do you think? is behind this prefix given to him by Punch newspaper? Let's interact in our comment section.